What's up, everyone? You guys made it just in the nick of crime. This is your daily dive into the stories behind the headlines. Before we get started, let me give a quick shout out to my mods who are coming in the chat. Y'all are the real MVPs, guys, keeping the community safe and thriving 24/7. And to all my loyal viewers, I see you guys showing up every day, hitting those likes, dropping those comments, and sharing these videos. Let's keep that energy going and push this episode here. We're already over that 10,000 mark. Let's see if we can go to 25,000. That would be awesome. I know we can do it. Now, if you are new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because trust me, you do not want to miss a single twist in the tales we are about to unravel, right? Today, we're going to be tackling a couple major stories, right? Ones that are sending shockwaves throughout the country, throughout the world. One, obviously, is the arrest of Luigi Mangione. Mangione, I'm not sure which one to say. I've been told that I'm saying it wrong both times, so it's one of those. Talking about his arrest, that is the person who was arrested for the death of UHC CEO Brian Thompson. The other thing is now Jay-Z is involved in the Diddy saga, and we're going to talk about that real quick as well. So that's obviously important. Now, these stories, guys, are going to be shaping the conversations we have in the days and weeks to come. They're complex, they're controversial, and they are evolving by the hour. So buckle up, grab your notepad, and let's dive into the details that the mainstream media isn't necessarily telling you about. It's time to separate fact from fiction, uncover the truth, one clue at a time. But first, you know what time it is, guys? We got to pay those bills, right? We got to pay those bills. So let's do that real quick. So for those of y'all who don't know, and normally I pin this, maybe I should pin it on TikTok. Give me a second here. Give me a second, TikTok. Give me a second, TikTok. I'm going to do this while I do this, because that I think makes it better. I'm going to do one of them at least. All right. So I have written 3 books, and you can get them all as a bundle. They are currently on a flash sale that ends in a day. These are 3 of the hardcover books. So I've written 3 books. The first one is called, where the hell is it? The first one I have in softback and hardback, but the first one is called Boundaries. If you are limited contact, no contact with a family member, this is a good way to explain it to your kid in a way that's easy for them to understand, simple for them to digest, teaches them the importance of setting boundaries within a family. The next book that I'm going to go through these real quick because I want to get to the conversation, guys. The next book is called The Lost Balloon. This is a book about sharing. These books, by the way, were written for kids ages 4 to the first one in Surprises, or sorry, the first one in Surprise were written to 12. This one's like to 10, maybe-ish, 12-ish. But this book is not only about sharing. It teaches kids the importance of sharing and generosity, obviously, but also how to make friends with those who seem different and the value of learning about other cultures. The last one, if I can find one, and this is the most important one I wrote if you have kids, children in your life, and these will go out the next day. Mail came today. They will go out tomorrow, signed. If you purchase them, they'll be there in plenty of time for Christmas. But this book right here, Surprises Are Okay, Secrets Are Not. This book is designed to make it so I don't have to do a story on your children. That is what this is for. It's designed to teach your kids how to say no, how to speak up, how to use their voice, and tell a trusted adult if something else is happening. Now, the hardbacks are pinned. You can get all of them in softbacks with the exception of this one, because I am out of them in softbacks, and I only have 20. Where is it? Only 21 of these left in hardcovers, so they're being sold. Once those 21 are gone, you won't be able to get that bundle. So if you want them, I would pick them up sooner than later, because we sold like 10 of them on a live last night. They're going quick. So if you want to do that, you absolutely can. Now, the other things, that's the other book, guys, for those of y'all. Again, I'm trying to get to the conversation quickly. The other things real quick, if you're watching on YouTube and you're seeing this, I am on BlueSky. This is my thing on it. That had 29 followers then. I have more than that now. It's just Nick of Crime on there. I also, one thing that I'm really bad about, if you want to get somebody, me, as a Christmas or whatever holiday present, I am on Cameo, and I'm very cheap. You can get me for very, very cheap. And there's a link for that in my bio. Go to Linktree, go to my website. You can book me on Cameo if you want to. Now, that being said, the last thing I will say is I will never ask you guys to subscribe. I will never ask you guys, I'm going to go take this pin down. I will never ask you guys to send gifts, but I cannot stop you if you do. I cannot stop you if you do. This is what I do for a full-time job. If you would like to support me, the work that I do, all the research, etc., please consider, if you feel up for it, doing that. You know, up to you. Now, that being said, let's talk about what's going on. I want to talk about Jay-Z first, because that's the much shorter conversation than Luigi, and then we'll give updates on Luigi too, right? So Jay-Z, real quick, for those of y'all who have been following the Diddy saga with us, we haven't had a really big update in a few days, because the UHC CEO, oh, thank you, Lolo. The UHC CEO has been the bulk of our conversation, guys. Yes, by the way, Bree did say we do have Tuesday night sub lives here on TikTok. Every Tuesday night, which is tonight. It's a sub only live. It's fun. It's cool. So, thank you, Lewis, for subscribing. I appreciate you guys. My goal is to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm at 350, so I got a little bit ways to go. But so that's another fun thing. There's perks to that as well. But real quick for Jay-Z. So Jay-Z has been accused now alongside Diddy in regard to the, we'll say abuse because there are words we can't say on social media, right? But this word starts with the letter R, of a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000 at a VMA party. Now, the story that we heard was that this 13-year-old girl was dying to get into the VMAs. She was dropped off, we don't know by who, and was asking basically everyone she could trying to get into the VMAs. She ends up asking a limo driver who happens to be Diddy's limo driver. And he said, well, we can't get you in the VMAs, but you're just the type of girl Diddy likes, or you're just like what Diddy likes. I don't think the girl knew exactly what she meant because she's a 13-year-old child, and said, we can take you to an after party. Well, she gets to the after party. She signs an NDA. She's given a drink. And if you've been following the Diddy saga, you know that once you're given that drink, you know what happens to you. She woke up to being AR'd by who was originally described as Diddy and Celebrity A and Celebrity B. We knew that Celebrity A was a male. We knew that Celebrity B was a female. Celebrity A has now been named as none other than Jay-Z. Color all of us shocked, right? Color all of us shocked. We are all so surprised. Anyways, Jay-Z has taken to social media to deny it. But here's something that's interesting. Apparently, Mama Knowles, Beyonce's mom, when they were talking about the charges, liked one of the comments. They basically saying a lot without saying a lot. So a comment talking about how there's more to come. And Beyonce's mom liked that comment, which I think sends a big message, if you ask me, on what happened there. Now, that was by Tina Knowles. You can Google it if you want to forget more about that story. Jay-Z obviously is denying it, calling it a money grab, calling it extortion, that he's going to fight it. I said at the beginning of all this, I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z was involved. There will be no criminal charges for this, even though the girl was only 13 at the time, because this was back in 2000. It'd be almost impossible to prove it in a way that would stick criminally, but it's not impossible necessarily to prove it in a way that will stick civilly. Now, as far as the female goes, you can guess who it is. A lot of people are saying J-Lo. A lot of people are saying Beyonce. He was not dating Beyonce at that point in time. A few people have said Mary J. Blige. It's up to you. Somebody on YouTube just asked, this is going to be a little bit different show. We're going to be a lot more communicative with everybody today, because I think this is a big discussion that we got to have. And the question was, can a 13-year-old be held legally held to an NDA without a parent present? No. A minor can't sign a contract and be held legally bound to it, especially when that contract is to protect illegal activities. All right. Now, that being said, Jay-Z's denying it, but I think this is going to be the tip of the iceberg. I have a feeling there's going to be more to come. Anyways, that's what I had to say about Diddy for now. We'll talk about more Diddy in the next coming days as things calm down. But right now, let's talk about what you guys really want to hear, right? Let's talk about what you guys really want to hear. And that is about Luigi Mangione, the guy who took the life of UHC CEO Brian Thompson. And I've got a lot to talk about with this. Now, I've not really done a big video on this, so let me just kind of give a real quick baseline for those of y'all who might not know. This is for the YouTube crowd mainly, but Brian Thompson was shot in New York going to an investor meeting, and it sparked a 6-day manhunt leading to Altoona, Pennsylvania, where a 26-year-old Ivy League student named Luigi Mangione was arrested for a few smaller charges, and then eventually charged with murder. And conveniently, he was spotted by what is being described as an elderly gentleman, and allegedly told the McDonald's employee to call in so they could get the money. And so they called in the tip. Police showed up. Luigi got arrested. On his person, on his backpack, I should say, they found 4 fraudulent IDs, including a New Jersey ID that matched the one that was used to check into the hostel. They found a 3D printed firearm and suppressor, along with supposedly $10,000 in U.S. cash and $2,000 in foreign currency, as well as a 3-page, what they're calling a manifesto. Now, Luigi is disputing the cash part, saying that that's not what was there, that was planted there. What's interesting to me about that, and we're going to get into this a little bit more in depth, is this arrest is very weird to me. And I'm not sitting here like with some conspiracy theory saying that it's a patsy, that it's this, it's that. I'm not doing that. Okay. I can only go off of the facts that we have. But I also, as a logical individual, can say that this guy did everything to the point, went on a 6-day run, and just happens to be sitting at McDonald's with all of his stuff on him. The possible murder weapon, the ID that he used, all this cash, just walking around with, $12,000 in cash if you include the foreign currency. It's just, it's odd, right? It's odd. It's a little sus to me. Again, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just saying it's a little strange. The other thing that I think is important to share before we go further is there's a few things fake that are floating around, and I want to kind of show you an example. Now, if you're on TikTok, you won't be able to see what I'm about to show on the screen in a moment here, but you can go look at the video that I did right before I got on live, and it'll show you what I'm doing. So there's a manifesto, a very detailed manifesto floating around out there. Okay. And it's not real. It's fraudulent. And I'm going to tell you reasons why it's fraudulent. So you don't just have to take my word for it. Okay. There's a few reasons why it's fraudulent. The first reason that it's fraudulent is, this is the police's biggest, one of, if not the biggest piece of evidence that they have. They're not going to leak it within hours of this dude's arrest. On top of that, had it been leaked, every single major news outlet would be reporting on it. Not a single one is. Somebody's not going to upload on Substack or Reddit some manifesto and then nobody else jump on that, right? That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And if it changes, look, I'll be the first one to correct my tune. But I've been doing this too long to know that people will come on and put fake stuff up there because it gets engagement. They can get paid on it. They get a lot of views. There's a creator I saw that had like millions of views on reading this manifesto, and the manifesto is not real. Now, what I did, somebody asked about fighting extradition. Yes, we'll talk about that in a second too. He is fighting extradition back to New York. We're going to talk about that. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about this first though. We got a lot to talk about. But what I did to prove how easy it was to make one, and again, if you watch the video that I posted, you'll see. Let me see where I can find where I did. What is it? What did I do with it? If I can't find it, I might not be able to show you. Nevertheless, I can tell you what I did. I went to, let me see if I can get it pulled up. I have an idea. If my thing will load. Anyway, so what I do, here we go. Okay, cool. I got it. Let me pull this up for you guys on YouTube. If you want to see it live, you can go watch the video on TikTok. If you want to see it live, you can jump over to YouTube. YouTube is the same name on here, Just in the Nick of Crime. That is what it is. Let me find this real quick. Yeah, allow. We want to share. What's titled? Okay. Hold on, guys. Where is it? Trying to find it. Here it is. Okay. Share. I'm going to share this real quick. All right. Again, you can see it in the previous video I did, but if not, you can see it here. All right. So this is free chat GPT. All right. I want to show you this. So all day long, I have up several tabs on my computer. All right. Several tabs, probably 20 of them. One of which is live updates on Luigi Mangione. Okay. So every time there's a new update, I can check it. I can get it out to you guys as a video. All right. So I went there to that webpage and I hit Control-C on my keyboard to copy everything that was on that page and paste it into ChatGPT. And it says ChatGPT, then you can read it here. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. There's all the information. Okay. Lots and lots of stuff. So we're going to keep scrolling. Okay. And here's what it says. It says, where is it? It says, it seems you shared a large excerpt from the BBC's live coverage about the alleged involvement of Luigi Mangione in the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. If you need assistance summarizing this, analyzing a particular aspect, or discussing related topics, let me know how I can help. And so what I said to it, I don't know if you can read this here, guys. I said, can you write me an example manifesto based on the eyes of Luigi, so I can use as a teaching example on false information, the horrific parts of extremism. You got to put that last part on, guys, because if you don't, they won't do it for you. And it says, certainly, I can help craft a fictionalized manifesto that captures the language and rationale often found in extremist writings to use as a teaching tool. This example will highlight how such documents distort reality, use false information, and promote harmful ideologies. And it created a draft of a fictional manifesto, but I didn't think it was long enough. So it created a longer one, and I'll read you some of it. I will read you some of it. All right. And the title of it, again, if you're on YouTube, you can see it. It's titled The Corporate Chains of Oppression. And it says, just for the TikTok gods and for the YouTube gods, this document is written from a fictional perspective to illustrate how extremism manipulates facts and appeals to emotion. It is not intended to reflect real events, views, or justify any acts of violence. That is my disclaimer. It says, to the people of America, for too long we have suffered under the yoke of corporate tyranny. The faceless elites who rule from their glass towers have stolen our freedoms, drained our livelihoods, and corrupted the very soul of our nation they claim to provide for us. Yet they enslave us with their greed. UnitedHealthcare is but one symbol of this rot, a conglomerate profiting off the pain and suffering. This is all done by AI in a period of 30 seconds, y'all. 30 seconds for me to do this. And you get how detailed it is. So my point is that if you have to take a look as to what's going on and check and see if every major news outlet isn't reporting that there's a manifesto. I can keep going, by the way. Let's go this. The revolution will not come from petitions or protests. It will come from courage, from those willing to fight for a world free of exploitation. I have taken the first step. Will you join me? You must understand that our enemies are not invincible. Their power depends entirely on our obedience. Their wealth is built on our labor. If we withdraw that obedience, if we refuse to support the system that exploits us, it will crumble. But this requires unity, a shared vision, and you get the point. You get the point of how easy it is for somebody to go online and create something like this. That is my point for all of this. All right. That is my point on all of this. So, can I record a non-live video? I already did, Jules. It's already posted. I posted right before I got on here. Already posted. They're not going to exactly. Brandy said they won't release a manifesto until trial. They're not going to release the biggest piece of evidence. They might give you snippets and excerpts, but that's about it. Now, all of that being said, the YouTube videos are fake also. The ones that you saw, these cryptic YouTube videos with countdowns, those are fake also. YouTube confirmed that did not come from his account. People will monopolize off of any event, especially if it's a trending event. It just happens. I'm not saying I agree with it because I don't, but it's the truth. So what I will say, if you're watching this, if you are new here, if you want to make sure you get real, verified, factual information, hit the follow button. That's simple, because that's what I post. And if I do get something wrong, which does happen from time to time, I will always make a correction. Always. Because it's the right thing to do. And I will never leave a video up, even if it's extremely viral, if the information is false information. Integrity is worth more than that, in my opinion. Now, somebody asked about the extradition. So let's talk about that real quick. Okay. So they are trying to extradite him from Pennsylvania to New York. And they are contesting extradition. And somebody asked, why would they be contesting extradition? And that's a phenomenal question. It really is. Because you would think that he would want to get this over as quickly as you can. Like you look at Diddy. Diddy didn't wait for it to be picked up in Miami and extradited to New York. He went to New York because he wanted this as quickly as he possibly could be. Brian Koberger, when he got picked up in Pennsylvania, he wanted to get to Idaho as quickly as he can so he could get that clock rolling. This guy wants to hold it. And why does he want to hold it? Okay. And you have to be clear on what I say here. And I'll try to make it very clear when I say it. By waiting, trying to contest extradition, it will buy them probably at least another couple weeks. He does have an attorney. It is not a court-appointed attorney, meaning it is a private attorney. And this would give them time to help formulate more of a defense. His team in New York, whoever that's going to be, will be able to formulate a defense while he's not even in the state, buying them 2 extra weeks of time before anybody else can even really begin. So that's one of the reasons why they would do it. The other reason why, and you need to listen to my words before jumping at me. I'm going to say, listen to the whole thing before you jump on me on this, okay? Because you're going to jump. I know it. This also gives him the opportunity to set up a mental health defense. All right? So let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not saying that he is mentally ill. Okay? I'm not saying he's mentally ill. There's a difference between being actually mentally ill and a mental illness defense. Okay? There's a difference. And I've seen in my videos that some people don't understand that there's a difference. But there's a difference. So and people came after me for this today. He is being described by the media having what the media is describing as a meltdown today in front of the courthouse. I would not personally describe it as a meltdown, but again, I'm not twisting the media's words. That was the media's words. Okay? He had a meltdown. He yelled that this is an insult to the it's unjust and that it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people. That's what he said. That's what he yelled. You know, the more he's calculated with his words and his actions, the easier it will be to set up a mental defense, which could get him shorter time or landed in a much cushier place. All right. Again, I would not describe it as a meltdown, but that's what the media described it as. And again, it's not my job to change the media's words because it was like every site had the term meltdown. I think that at the same time, while he was doing that, we found out that the CEO of United Health Group, Andrew Whitty, is a tone-deaf buffoon, a very wealthy buffoon, but a buffoon nonetheless. Because apparently he sent out an internal video. If you haven't seen it, you can go see it. It's like 2.5 minutes. An internal video to his employees that have been leaked. It's been leaked. He sent out a video basically talking about how people are disconnected, that Brian did a great job, that we are going to continue to deny unnecessary claims. So clearly they have not learned a thing by this. That was what he was trying to do. And I said that they weren't going to learn a thing about this. Okay. But he went on, you can go watch the whole video, basically saying that the people on social media are tone deaf as well. And I think that it was really, when you have somebody that's worth $66 million, which Andrew Whitty is, versus the person who's losing loved ones being denied claims, then I think that you're a little bit tone deaf. And for you to then come on and say, we're going to continue to deny unnecessary claims. Who are you to decide? I mean, you're the insurance company, but who are you to decide what claims are unnecessary when somebody's medical doctor has deemed the treatment that they have necessary? You are not their doctor. The person on the front line is a CSR. That is not a doctor. That is not somebody with medical experience enough to be able to supersede your doctor. And this is why this happened. This is exactly why this happened, because people are tired of it. Hell, I'm tired of it. You know, it's insane that this is real life for all of us. That we are all one major illness away from bankruptcy at any given day, something that you can't even control. Cancer diagnosis, next few years of chemo, assuming they approve it, bankruptcy, millions of dollars in treatment. You'll be alive, but you'll be paying off debt for the rest of it. And this is what people who aren't understanding are thinking. And when you look at both sides of this, which I'm able to do, and you're able to look at both sides, and yes, you can say, let's not condone murder, right? That makes us uncivilized. Let's not condone murder. And you don't have to condone murder to be here on the side and say, hey, I don't condone murder. But also, you know what? I'm not sad about this guy's passing. This doesn't, oh, well, bye, Rocco. It's not insensitive if that's how you feel. It's not. It just isn't. You don't have to condone what the action that was taken, but you also don't have to be saddened by the action. Does that make sense? And so that's where I'm at. Like, I don't condone what Luigi did, right? I'm not going to sit here on a live platform and condone those actions, right? I'm not going to do that especially on a live platform, I should say. But I'm not going to be sad about it. Right? Somebody messed up. Again, this is a little bit different live, so we're going to have a little bit of a different conversation today. Christina said something really great. Let's pin what Christina said. I'm going to pin it. This on TikTok. You guys, I'll read it for YouTube. It says, Christina said, boils down to what we put in our bodies, the food we eat, the water we drink, etc. Yes, and who controls the rules and regs on the food we eat and the water we drink? Right? It's all out of our control unless you're growing it yourself on a farm, which most people don't have. You know, Christina's right. Christina's 100% right. Christina's 100% right. Yeah, some of it's hereditary, but it does. But a lot of it also boils down to what we have. Ingesting a bunch of microplastics is problematic. And you know what? And here's the thing: I'm not sitting here condoning his actions. I'm not here justifying his actions. All I'm saying is I understand why so many American people are fed up. This event, what I have found very interesting about it, we have been as a nation essentially at war with each other over politics these last several months. Nobody's sitting here talking about politics. You have a bunch of people in this chat and in this chat here on YouTube, you guys, both sides of the aisle, Republicans, Democrats, Trump supporters, Harris supporters. You have both of y'all, and y'all are all coming together in agreement that, hey, yeah, our system is effed up. Our system isn't right. I too have been a victim of of this type of a situation. And wanting change doesn't make you a bad person, right? Wanting change doesn't make you a bad person. Not wanting to be screwed on spending hundreds or thousands of dollars a month on healthcare insurance to be denied, that doesn't make you a bad person. You not mourning, I'm going to give you permission. If you don't want to mourn Brian Thompson's death, that doesn't make you a bad person either. But again, there are other ways to go about it that don't involve what Luigi did. But Luigi's actions did create a splash. We have now 7 days into this, and we're talking about it still, right? And we're learning a lot of information about Luigi. We're learning about chronic back pain. We're learning about the fact that he's from a very, very wealthy family. Not like just, oh, I'm rich, like rich, like rich, rich, rich. And he's intelligent, right? Valedictorian of a prestigious private school, University of Pennsylvania graduate, Ivy League school. Very intelligent guy. Very intelligent guy. So when this all first happened, my initial thoughts were, why? Like this guy, my money was on a guy who had lost a loved one, a spouse, a child, because of a denied claim. Clearly, that's not the case. Clearly, that's not the case. And so the fact that he's from such a wealthy family, the fact that his family owns nursing homes, I find it very interesting. And I just really am interested. I'm not going to venture guesses as to why he went down the path that he went down, but I find it very interesting. The other thing that's very interesting is that apparently his mom back on November 18th reported him missing in San Francisco. He had not been heard from. He had just kind of fallen off the face of the earth. His family was concerned. They reported him missing. He apparently had made plans to help a friend with a wedding. He completely vanished, disappeared, didn't hold up his commitment. He used to post a lot on social media about the 300 books over 300 books he's read, plus his travels. Literally just stopped, like flipping a switch. People were concerned, reaching out, "Are you okay?" He became very involved in the writings of the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, right? Who was very anti-government, very anti-establishment. Right? Luigi Perp walked with bulletproof vest, Kim said. That's standard, especially in high-profile cases. So he went down a path. And the fact that the thing is that's very interesting is that this is a guy that, yes, he might have been struggling from chronic pain, and I don't know his situation. So I'm going to make it very clear that I'm going to make an assumption right here. Okay. This is a guy who, no matter what his medical situation was, could probably afford to pay cash. Right? That's how wealthy these people are, that he could probably afford to pay cash. I don't think that this is a situation where he got denied some claim and couldn't afford it. I think that he could very much afford whatever. I think that this, he understands what those who are the middle and poorer class people are going through. middle class and lower. I think he understands it, and I think that's why he did this. Because he's frustrated by the way that people get treated at their numbers. Somebody said, you said San Francisco, and I heard you say Nancy Pelosi. Yes, his mom reported him missing in San Francisco. Let's talk about the Nancy Pelosi thing real quick. All right. So there's also a rumor floating around that this was a Nancy Pelosi involved hit. That is a politically charged, politically fueled rumor that has no basis in reality. All right. This dude was not getting set to testify against Nancy Pelosi. In fact, it was quite the opposite. This guy was the subject of a DOJ investigation for insider trading. Brian Thompson was being investigated by the Department of Justice along with other UnitedHealthcare executives for insider trading because there was a DOJ investigation going on, and he dumped about $15 million worth of stock, profited $15 million before the public knew about it, and the stock went down. All right. That's illegal, guys. That's illegal. Is it worth dying over? No, of course not. But that's illegal. Stealing from your shareholders is illegal, and that's what he did. Concealing a DOJ investigation to make the market work in your favor without anybody else knowing, that's illegal. Right? This guy was not getting ready to testify against anybody. That is a rumor with zero basis. There's a lot of rumors about this because here's the thing. People don't like Nancy Pelosi. All right? And that's fine. Don't like her. I don't care. No skin off my back. People don't like Trump. People don't like Harris. People don't like Biden. It doesn't mean that they're the ones at the top rungs of the ladders in all these cases. Okay? People like to say shit. They just do. It doesn't mean it's correct. Somebody says it's not illegal if you're a member of Congress. Ain't that the truth? No. If you're a member of the legislative branch, even the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas took not insider trading, but took bribes and gifts and stuff like that. And he's like, man, oh well. Doesn't matter. Guess it's who you are. What you know. You. But anyways, somebody said the defense attorney is live now. Let me see if I can find that real quick. If I can, maybe I'll try to pipe it in for y'all. Give me 1 second here. I get a little fired up. By the way, for the record, guys, I'm somebody who worked in insurance. I'm somebody who worked in healthcare, worked in durable medical equipment. I worked in durable medical equipment, and I worked in pharmaceutical sales. Trying to find the channel. If TikTok goes away, I guess I'm going back to I'm going to go back to being part of the problem. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get you guys. For those of y'all know what's knowing, this attorney is speaking now. This is the attorney for Luigi Mangione. All right, my dogs are being loud. Um, I'm trying to. Let me go make. Y'all keep listening. I'll be right back. This is for those of y'all. This is somebody pin it. People are talking. Private cast. You guys can't hear this. Let me see if I can type it. I didn't hear much of that, so cheers. Well, y'all, TikTok can hear it. This is the lawyer talking. I'm keeping it. His name is defense attorney Thomas M. Dickey, who is representing. Let's do a quick Google on him. Thomas M. Dickey. Let's get some background on this dude real quick. We're going to do this live, guys. This is breaking. All right, let's look for. He's from Altoona. So this is going to be one for just these particular things. So Thomas Dickey is listed in America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. All right. He lifetime resident of Blair County, Pennsylvania, undergraduate degree. 50 County, learning rights. I want to know more about him. Let's talk about his cases. Let's see what we can find out. Thomas M. Dickey in Altoona. Somebody said he's the best criminal defense attorney in Pennsylvania. "41 years as an attorney." Take a look and see what we have. He does all sorts of things. There's a practice attorney, community involvement, news, firm profile. Let's take a look. He appeared seen as part of a special report. He was a veteran. 2 of his cases were also specially featured in statewide legal journal, Legal Intelligencer. He also meets the qualifications for defense counsel in capital cases, which is death penalty cases. I don't know of any of the other cases. I'll try to do a little bit more. I don't want to spend my whole time researching online for y'all. I mean, unless that's what y'all want me to do. But that's his attorney. His name is Thomas M. Dickey. Let me see if I can get you, for those of y'all on YouTube, let me see if I can get you a picture of this guy. Real quick. Here we go. Hold on. So real quick, we'll share this tab for y'all. This is the lawyer, guys, if you're watching on YouTube. The stream. There you go. That's not the best picture. Let me see if I can find a little bit better for you. But he looks legit, y'all. He looks legit. Here we go. We can. That's gonna be too small. Why can't I find a big picture? Here we go. This would be a bigger picture. Share this tab. I'm going to share this tab instead. There we go. So this is what he looks like, guys. There you go.
If you're an American, you believe in American.
Anyways, we won't pay very long because they'll yell at me. But yeah, that's him. I wonder what his hourly rate is. Well, I'd love no ballpark. Yeah, me too, Ash. I'd love no ballpark of his hourly services. No, if you're on TikTok, you can't see it. That's YouTube could hear, you guys could hear, and YouTube couldn't, and YouTube can see, and you guys can't. That's how that works. Sorry. You can jump over to YouTube to see what we do there. By the way, if you are coming in late too, this whole discussion is saved on YouTube. You're able to go over there and watch it at any time. We do a show almost daily. For the record, though, he will not be facing capital murder, or he will not be facing the death penalty, I should say. New York does not have the death penalty, and he's not facing the death penalty in Pennsylvania, and I don't know if they have it or not. Have I talked about the Rob and the Cast? Have I talked about the Pelosi connection? There is no Pelosi connection. That is a politically charged rumor with zero basis or backing to it. What's Meld, Tiff? I don't know what Meld is, but I would be interested. The issue is with streaming with multiple platforms is that TikTok does not play nicely with other platforms. Like I'm on StreamYard and I'm streaming simultaneously to YouTube and Facebook, but I could stream to others. But I just, yeah. His lawyer, he needs a better lawyer. Marmar, he's apparently got the best defense lawyer in the entire state of Pennsylvania. I don't think he's got the best lawyer Well, for where he is. I don't know why people are hating on Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a great state. Somebody said just join. Somebody said just join. What's the newest details on YouTube? If you are just joining, you can rewind and start. I don't go back and repeat details on YouTube because you can go back and rewind it. There are people who are watching it later. He's in the top 100 attorneys in America. So, why Pennsylvania's charges were in New York? See, that's a great question. Let's talk about that. He's facing 5 charges in New York, or 5 charges in Pennsylvania for the firearm and the fake IDs. Is basically what they are. The murder charge is New York. That's a great question, though. Great question. Somebody said they can see his picture again. Sure. Put the picture back up. There you go. I'm gonna sneeze, guys. Sorry. Maybe. No. Of course. Is Dickey licensed to practice in New York? I don't know, but my guess is he's probably going to have a different team in New York, is my guess. Yeah, I'm not worried about attorneys. Attorneys are safe. Anyways, private attorney, probably a very expensive attorney. I don't know what the hourly rate is. But the guy seems to know what he's doing. Stephanie, I don't know. I just found his name and I haven't had a chance to do the deep dive yet. He has been formally charged, Robin. He has been formally charged with murder. 2nd degree. I think this will wake up more copycats, possibly, which is why they wouldn't release the real manifesto. He's not really put out a statement now, because that's what he was charged with. I don't know what the rationale is behind it. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm not an attorney. And keep in mind, initial charges can change to other charges. People are asking if it's pro bono. All I know is it's not I just know it's not a public defender. That's all I can tell you. So somebody asked a great question. I'm going to put this one up here real quick. Can I explain the no extraditing thing? Do they believe they have a chance of no extradite, or is it solely to delay the process? This is a great question. Let me reread it. Can you explain the extraditing thing? Do they believe they have a chance for no extradite, basically for no extradition, or is it solely to delay the process? It is solely to delay the process. There's no way he's not being extradited to New York. That is 100% going to happen. But now you're putting in legal paperwork to delay the process, which what that does is it buys him time. It buys him the ability to help form a better defense strategy before. Because once he gets to New York, the clock's going to start ticking, right? So this gives him a 2-week jump start, likely 2-ish, give or take, weeks jump start. So, yeah, that's solely what it is. And I think honestly, and again, I'm going to say this. I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again because I don't want people jumping on me. I think they're going to go. I would imagine that they're at least planning on some type of mental illness plea. Now, that is not me sitting here saying that I believe Luigi has mental illness, because I don't. I've not seen anything. To me, you see a person that's passionate and believes in what he's doing, right? But being mentally ill and being able to use mental illness as a defense are 2 completely different things. So if I go on a video and say, hey, they're probably trying for a mental insanity defense or some kind of psychiatric defense, that's not me saying that he necessarily fits the bill. It's a defense. It's a defense that can be used. Yeah, pain pushed him over the edge with the back. That's one of the things they're talking about. It's very interesting. Somebody said, are they going to get an impartial juror? I don't know. There's plenty of people out there. Look, here's the thing. We are all in a bubble on social media, right? We are all in our bubble. We typically are in an echo chamber. We see the same posts. We see the same people. You see people who tend to agree with you. There are people out there who do not agree with this at all and believe that he essentially needs to burn for what he did. So I think it's very possible to find a jury out there. But here's the thing. It only takes one person for it to be a hung jury. And that's an acquittal. So, somebody said he did it for his mother. That's not true. He's not said that. He's not said anything. He's not said that at all. He's not said anything, because if he said I did this for my mother, that would be him saying I did this, and he has not entered a plea of guilty. He's not done a confession. So no, that's not accurate. They'll get a jury, Crafty. If Johnny Depp and Amber Heard could get a jury, they'll get a jury. Anyways, guys, that's I think what we got for today. My wife is telling me we got to go pick the kiddo up, so I'm going to sign off. There's a TikToker saying it was in his manifesto. Robin, his manifesto has not been released. Please check the video prior. Please check the last video I posted. The manifest. All right, for everybody coming in TikTok, the manifesto that you all are seeing is not real. It is not real. It is fake. It is a fraudulent manifesto. It is not real. Do I think it will be telecasted? Very possibly. Yes, it is not real. It is fake. It is fraudulent. I cannot stress this enough. Look at the video I did right before this. I show you how easy it is to create a fake manifesto. I can show you how easy it is to make a manifesto. I don't know who wrote it. I use ChatGPT and a bunch of articles to get the in fact, I'll read a little other part of it for you. I use ChatGPT and a bunch of and basically the whole update of articles, and said, make me a manifesto for educational purposes from the perspective of Luigi. And it did. And it did. And it's as far as manifestos go, I think it's pretty good. Let me read you another part of it that I haven't read. I know what I risk by speaking these truths. The media will label me a madman, a criminal, or worse. They will distort my words to protect their corporate masters. But let me be clear, this is not an act of hate, but of justice. This is not an act of violence, but of liberation. My actions are a message to the oppressors. The people will no longer be silent. The system we live under thrives on complacency. It is not enough to simply survive. We must thrive. This is all a manifesto that I wrote with ChatGPT in a sentence. Guys, it took me 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Was the YouTube account with the account not fake? Yes. Should I keep going? To my fellow citizens, I do not ask for your sympathy or your approval. I only ask that you open your eyes to the suffering around you. Question the narratives fed to you by the media. Recognize that the true enemies are those who hoard wealth while millions struggle to survive, and most importantly, demand change. The revolution will not come from petitions or protests. It will come from courage, from those willing to fight for a world free from exploitation. I have taken the first step. Will you join me? This is a fake manifesto that I wrote with ChatGPT and articles about Luigi so that the AI could get an idea of who he was. Very easy to fake it. Crimson Trend, I don't know. I don't know. So period. ChatGPT. Got it. Here's what I'm gonna charge you guys with. Okay? I'm gonna challenge you guys with something. If you see something that's a big deal, if you see something that's a big deal, like a manifesto or a YouTube channel, Google it. Because you don't have to buy into mainstream media. You don't have to. I'm not telling you to have to do that. The YouTube channel is fake. Yes, Tara. YouTube themselves confirmed it. If you Google it, you'll find plenty of articles with YouTube confirming it was fake. Well, first of all, the writing in the fake manifesto is not Ivy League. I would say this is more Ivy League than that one. The manifesto that there's no. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Google it. Every single major outlet would have published that manifesto by now if it was out. It's 3 pages. It was handwritten. You would see it in its entirety, for sure, by every single news outlet out there. All right? You would. So if you Google it and you don't see it, be like, huh, maybe I should question this. What I thought about him saying parasites, that they suck off the work of other people to get rich. You know, there's a saying that the higher up you get on the totem pole, the less you work. We've seen snippets of the real manifesto, but we've not seen the actual manifesto. It's on Substack and it's on Reddit. It's not real. It's just not real, guys. And if it changes that it turns out to be real, I'll be the first one on here eating my hat. I will. But it's not, because the police are not going to release their biggest piece of evidence that they're basically saying is a confession. Right? I know he's referring to multiple people. They're not going to release that to the public because they don't want copycats. They don't want people radicalized by his writing. Some of it's just common sense. You know? Why do I think him yelling out, talking to the detention center? I think that he was trying to get the media to hear what he was saying. I think that that's it. There's a lot of people reading the manifesto online. There's a lot of people reading the manifesto online, and they're getting millions of views for it. No, the back surgery is legitimate. He does have legal counsel. Yes, we talked about that. Anyways, guys, so this entire live is recorded on YouTube. So if you guys want to go see it, you can go watch it right now. It's up. As I record it, when I sign off, it'll still be up. But I'm going to run because I got to pick up my kid. And I will see you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Now, tonight I'll talk to TikTok in a second separately. But you guys on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow. It's free to do so. And real quick, before I do go, it looks like we have a new member to the channel on YouTube. Let me put up Fly Girl has become a member for a month. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat and for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate you. Anyways, guys, everybody, remember, always, question, do your deep dives, do your research. Don't believe everything you see, especially when it comes to these major cases. There are people who just want to get stuff out there because they can profit really well. Because you're going to make money off of a video, whether it's fake or real. If it goes viral, you're making money off of it. Anyways, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.